But we have this story, which I think is absolutely fascinating and on point. Nancy Mace taunts left-wing activist she exposed for extremist tweets with snowflake emoji. Oh my. Oh my. So here's what happens. A bunch of these woke leftists, fake news liars, they make fake posts all day and night. They lie about everything because they're psychotic cultists. They're evil people. They're testifying before Congress. And Nancy Mace asks, do you think rhetoric online is bad? And they all say, yes. Do you think it leads to violence? Yes. Then she pulls up this tweet from Alejandra Caraballo, who called for the public accosting of Supreme Court justices. She then mentions, someone went and tried to kill Brett Kavanaugh. And it's an epic roast. This person, Caraballo, is like, I need to clarify. That's not actually what I said. And she's like, it's right here. You said it. And boom, major smackdown. When these people come out and they get angry at Elon and they're like, I thought you were going to protect free speech. And Elon's like, dude, don't share the location of my jet. These are people who are trying to use our good faith against us, that we would believe in free speech. They want to justify the sharing of Elon's real-time location data. Okay, that's scary. And it says to me, they want him dead. I know it's a meme where like these leftists will be like, they want you dead. That's it. That's the Republican Party. But like, if they're actively calling for violence, if they've gone and thrown Molotovs into police vehicles and smashed windows and quite literally killed dozens of people in the May George Floyd riots. And then Elon Musk is like, for safety reasons, I won't be doing public events and we're going to shut down real-time location sharing. And then they go, oh no, oh geez, our free speech. Oh, what are you doing? Yeah, no, they just want him hurt.
I don't think doxing people on the internet's free speech anyway.
Right.
It is. I
mean, it's free speech under the U.S. Constitution, right, in the colloquial sense of telephones, and like you could put a piece of paper on a telephone pole that showed a guy's face with his address. That was legal. But now that we have the internet, it's another realm of function. And this kind of thing it's not like benefiting society to dox people. So I don't see why we would support it as a form of free speech.
I mean, I guess it's a challenge. It is free speech. You're allowed to say so-and-so lives here. We had a phone book, before. Growing up, there's the white pages. You can Google search someone's address. It's very, very easy. So it's tough to justify when on social media, they say don't post someone's address when you can just Google it and see it if you want to. However, I still do agree. There's no idea expressed in sharing someone's physical location. There's probably some exemptions to this. Like if someone was at like the Bohemian Grove or something in real time and you were like, they're here now, look. So I have to wonder if there's a potential negative downside to this. If let's say, for instance, Bill Gates is in real time at Epstein Island and someone shares that, can they get banned? Or is Elon going to be like, no, it's okay. You're exposing him being at Epstein Island. No, I think he's going to be like real time location sharing is wrong. Erase that.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Look, I just keep coming back to the fundamental point that your personal physical safety and the safety, especially of your kids, of your family, is one of the most important things that we've lost sight of amongst all of this. And so anything that's going to, again, this is a private platform, that to make it so that at least it makes it a little bit harder for someone to actually find out where you are when there's real threats against someone who's high profile like that makes a ton of sense. Again, it's you just go back and you juxtapose it against the stuff that they actually were trying to take down, the things that they were trying to flag as misinformation, disinformation, false information in their eyes was totally fine and acceptable. But something that's actually going to physically threaten somebody or their family, to say that that's somehow wrong is just lacks common sense. It's setting everything else aside.
Yeah, I think we also have to be careful to also respect journalism here, because I could see this being used to hurt journalism, especially when it comes to individuals like Bill Clinton meeting the people that were investigating him on the tarmac with the head of the DNC, like someone going to the Bilderberg meeting, some prominent individuals going and colluding with corporate individuals, or like the Prime Minister of New Zealand going to BlackRock. I think those are all newsworthy events. How do we cover them without also compromising people's safety? How do we cover them without being censored online? I think those are bigger questions that I'm kind of left here after all this.
I think you just don't want to dox them in real time. Like if someone goes,
But if I'm reporting, if I'm doing a live stream outside of the Bilderberg meeting, right? And then Klaus Schwab, or let's just say Eric Schmidt, walks down the street, which has happened to me. I go up to him. I'm like, hey, Eric Schmidt, what are you doing here? Is that considered something that will get me punished or banned? I hope not. It raises some questions here that I think should be answered.
Yeah, because it's legal to record someone in public.
Yeah, because it is in the public interest. Your
legal
politician meeting with the corporate heads, your politician meeting with secret groups of shadowy elites behind closed doors making decisions for the general public is something that is important. But there are also a lot of crazy people out there that do want to hurt people, and that's out of your control. How do you mitigate the dangers with actual reporting? I don't know. I don't have that answer. But I think the law says one thing right now, right? Like what's the legal basis for all of this?
Well, I mean, look, on Twitter, again, it's a private platform. And so Elon Musk can make whatever rules he wants for his private platform. But I think there's a difference. There's a difference between CNN or Fox or whomever interviewing some senator standing in front of the Capitol building. That's something that's not going to attract a crazy. That's something that's not going to make it that much easier for some rando to follow that person to plot things out. It's a totally different deal if you've got like a flight tracker that's got your real-time location. I mean, would we be okay with a GPS device that someone put on your car? Right? And then they mapped it, and then anyone in the world could know exactly where your car was at any point in time, and someone created a Twitter bot that was reporting on your location? I mean, I don't think so.
No, I don't think that would be good.
I'm finding it all funny because the left screams about stochastic terrorism, where it's the old concept, oh, won't someone rid me of this priest? They're like, Chaya Raichik, libs of TikTok, is a stochastic terrorist who, incites indirectly all of this hatred so that people know to go do these things. It's like, okay, shut up. Like, you're literally calling for violence and then demanding we get to know exactly where Elon Musk is.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
As they also say that words are violence. As they're telling everyone that having a scientific debate on a procedure that's been rushed through without any long-term studies, even just questioning that is dangerous and it's going to lead to murder. I mean, these are very nonsensical, very emotionally driven individuals that clearly are there serving an agenda rather than trying to have an honest conversations about what is right, about our rights, and about what we should have as sacred, and that is our ability to say what we want as long as we're not hurting anyone. Who decides how people get hurt? Again, that's up in the air here, and I'm left with that question. I don't have an answer to it myself.
Maybe if you're doxing someone that's in a secure location, like you said, someone went into a building, then maybe that's less dangerous than if you're doxing someone that's out on the street, out in the open. Maybe there's something there. What
does Elon think is going to happen once we're all Neuralinked? And assume it's decentralized. Assume it's centralized. There's no way. If you increase the speed of information tenfold, 100-fold, hooking people's brains right to the machine, everyone will know where everyone is all the time. And there's no blocking that information. You can't do it.
Right. And then I would think there would be huge amounts of rapidly escalating violence that would then settle, and then you would have a sense of calm. But then you would know who was going to be violent before they were violent, so you could stop them. And then you're in pre-crime, which is like Minority Report,
yeah,
where they're arresting people that haven't even done anything yet. So I don't like that.
Maybe. I mean, depending on where we go with Neuralink, what might happen is the AI will it'll track everyone's brain patterns, and then it will be like there's a 97.3% of the time when there's a mass shooting, the brain patterns look like this in this part of the brain within an hour of the attack. Right. And then all of a sudden, some dude's walking down the street and, the pre-crime unit comes and grabs him and cuffs him and says, you're about to commit a crime. We could tell by tracking your brain.
They'll do that, and then they'll go to the guy's trunk and they'll find all these guns, and they'll be like, see, it's proof that we can do it. And then I could see them starting like an entire, a sector of the government as pre-crime, and then all of a sudden it's not working sometimes. They're getting people.
But it's all for your safety. Sometimes. It's all for your health. It's all for the greater good, Ian.
For the common man.
Yes.
For the collective.
Live in the pod, eat the bugs, and plug into the Neuralink.
You think we're better off and that will benefit society and space and reality better as a Borg unit or as a bunch of...
Define benefit.
Like, increase prosperity, growth, diminish, entropy, whatever
If you followed Star Trek stuff, there was a Borg queen who was...
A centralized unit.
Yeah, and the Borg Queen was like an independent mind that controlled the whole network to its benefit.
Maybe a decentralized Borg. I've never seen a fantasy decentralized Borg unit. That might work better.
I think it's bad either way. Benefit is it's an opinion, I guess, but some people probably think that all humans network together is a good thing and they want a Borg. That just seems like you're dead. It seems like every individual human dies at that moment. And then what you end up with is this collective hive of noise of no merit. It's just a buzz. It's just a machine. I think individuality is beautiful. I think each little unique snowflake, is something of value. So that's what's worrying to me about this idea of Neuralink in the long run. But I don't know. Whatever. We'll see where we go, huh? How about that?
That's weird.
Yeah.
It's like Ghost in the Shell, basically. A lot of the stuff is what I reminisce of immediately.
But at least in Ghost in the Shell, for those that aren't familiar, anime and manga, like you're an individual.
Yeah.
They cyberize your brain with nanobots and then you can interface with computers and stuff.
Correct.
But the reality of what would happen, as we're already seeing with Twitter, is that we'd become a hive. Like we're already turning into that just because we have cell phones as it is, which is creepy.
Or do you think you'll get the neural net at any point, Gene?
Look, I who knows? Probably not. I'm much more of an individualist myself. I don't like the idea of any kind of machine planted in me, but that's me. Look, but I think the point Timmy just made, which is you see the way right now the spheres of influence and the power centers who have been using social media and who have been using these avenues of communication in the media have already formed a lot of this groupthink in our society. And we see the dangers that are associated with that when we have things like certain people are determining what's true and what's false, and anything else is censored and shut down, and you're not allowed to say anything. Right. And we're already, you already see some of that today in a way that you didn't see 10, 20, 30 years ago at all. And that's just based on our, modern communication and technology and social media.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.